And all right, and we're here. Welcome everyone. We are back. If you checked us out last night, it was me. Wild Man Willie D was running the mock last night. Well, really was acting as the GM. And so today we have the sports guru himself, my boy Brian. He's going to be the GM. We're going to run another 7 round simulator with the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be based on not what we think they're going to do, but this is going to be based on what Brian believes they should do. So, we're just here to have some fun. So, if you guys want to drop in, comment, subscribe, like. But like I said, this is going to be Brian. We're going to go through the whole thing, like all 7 rounds, and we're just going to give you a viewpoint of how everybody will be different who runs the draft. So, those who were here last night for Willie, hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this as well. So I'm going to start out, let Willie reintroduce himself, and then we're going to focus on the man of the hour, which is Byron, and B is going to lead us today. So Willie, oh wait a minute, that's a new shirt you got. Wait a minute, you know what? Let me take this. If I can get this whole screenshot, see what's going on. Stand up, show everybody your shirt that your wife made.
Just for y'all the haters out there, we feel about it. Y'all keep us active every day.
That's for the
y'all make us good every day.
Houston, Texas fans.
Texas fans, yeah, especially them.
Yeah,
I always trying to compete where you ain't even compete yet. Nowhere near.
Exactly.
Willie D. Washington, as you know.
Hold on. Sorry, we have an emergency here. Something is about to go down. I'm sorry for the interruption. Guys. It's something serious. It's a fan invasion. We have a fan that's invading the space right now. It's Steve. I don't believe it. It's Steve. So this is a new segment where we bring on fans that have things to say. And Steve, what do you got to say?
Just want to say hello to everybody first.
So, how you doing, Steve?
Good.
How you going, man?
Good.
He's in Houston, by the way. He's literally in Houston, so he deals with the Houston, Texas fans. What is on your mind? Yeah, what's on your mind with football or the Dallas Cowboys in particular?
I'm eagerly looking forward to the draft, first of all, and I'm really hoping they come out with at least 2 offensive line starters. I think that is by far the biggest need. And really hoping they don't draft Jonathan Brooks high. If they do, I hope it's a late day 3 pick because I'm not in favor of drafting injured goods. There's quality backs in this draft, and you don't have to reach for an injured player. Because from all accounts, he's going to miss at least half the year, if not more. And if a rookie contract outside of the first round is a 4-year contract, you're going to lose 1 year of that almost. That's not wise. I don't understand the people that are in favor of drafting him in the second round. I saw a Mel Kiper mock draft that had us taking Graham Barton in the first, which I really liked, and then taking Brooks in the second, which I really wasn't a fan of. He was one of the only guys a year ago that had us taking Tyler Smith in the first round, by the way. So,
and we've had a history of taking injured players in the second round.
Much to their detriment. I mean, it's hard to think of one that they really nailed. Bruce Carter way back, that really didn't work out.
I mean,
he was serviceable. We all know.
Well, my son.
Smith.
My son was good. My son is good. Even though he was injured last year, Diggs. Diggs was a second round pick.
No, but he wasn't injured goods.
He's talking about injured. He's only talking about injured goods.
Injured good.
No, they hit good on Diggs. Yes, correct.
Oh, okay. I think you said in terms of injury. Okay.
I'm just talking about the injured players that they've taken a chance on because they think if this guy was healthy, he would have been a first-round pick. So he fell to the second round because he's hurt. So we're going to hit a home run with this pick. And I don't think it's really worked out. Like I said, Bruce Carter comes to mind. Jalen Smith, we all know how that one turned out.
Sean
There's
Lee.
two. Well, I like Sean Lee, but
I do too.
yeah, just the durability just wasn't there. Guy would have been a Hall of Famer had he been, durable. And Jalen, they doubled down on that by then extending his contract when they didn't have to, which it's a cavalcade of mismanaging, which we've seen time and time again from the Jones front office. It's just they refuse to do anything different. And it baffles. I find that baffling, and I find it baffling that there's fans out there that still will defend Jerry Jones. I have conversations with these guys on a weekly basis on Twitter or X, and I don't know if they're
are these Cowboy fans or these like Philadelphia Eagle fans?
They're
No,
Cowboy
they Cowboy
but
fans.
they love Jerry Jones. I had a
They
conversation.
defend them.
Yeah, he was like, well, it's the players' fault, and I was like, okay. I said, who put those players in place? Somebody drafted those players. They didn't hire themselves.
True.
If you want to blame the coach, he didn't hire himself. There was.
See, they like to bring up the 9 all pros. They like to bring that up. The all pros supposed to get it over it.
It's just.
Hold on. Let Steve talk. I want to give him a talk. We're gonna get into the draft. I want to hear what he got to say, really.
One thing I would love to hear you guys on, and I don't. I've heard a couple different things as to who's really running things. Is it Steven or is it Jerry? Because when something good happens, it's Jerry. But when something bad happens, then it's Catboy's fault. So who's really running things?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And so what we're gonna do is Brian's the man of the hour, but he already answered it. So explain why you Brian, why you look at it and say Byron, why you say it's Steven.
I think Steven is more involved than Jerry to a certain extent because of age. You know what I'm saying? And just like some of if you go back to the history when Jerry signed Dion, Steven jacked him up against the wall, and it's like you will know if Jerry makes a move because it's going to be money involved. Jerry's going to throw money against the wall. Jerry going to go out and get a player. Roy Williams, he's going to make a move, and it's going to be one of those crazy moves.
You mean like Joey Galloway, 2 first-round picks?
Yeah.
Roy Williams, what was that, a first, a third, and a fifth? No disrespect. Getting away a 4th-round pick we could use this year for Trey Lance. Those are Jerry moves. Those are definitely Jerry moves.
And then, like, with Steven, you getting rid of Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick. Then having to come back and draft. You let Sarah Wilson walk because maybe he wanted a little bit more money than what Miami was going to, give. You sign Gallup, another hurt guy, bring another hurt guy back, and it's just, to me, it's just the lack of aggressiveness. I think Steven is more passive. Jerry was aggressive. Jerry may have been a little bit over aggressive, but there's no happy medium in between the two. Like Steven is he's low risk, high reward. Jerry is high risk, high reward, and there's no middle ground in between. And we kind of, as fans, I think we kind of need a middle ground where, hey, we go get a player that maybe Bobby Wagner last year could have helped us. But instead, we double down on LVE, instead of going to get a for sure guy that we knew could play linebacker the way that we needed him to play. And maybe move LVE back from getting banged up so much, move him back to outside.
I think they were counting on DeMarvion Overshown to really contribute last year, and when he got hurt in that preseason game, I think that was a big loss because I think he was the main reason why they didn't go after Wagner, which was a mistake, obviously. Especially when they got hit by injuries, later with LVE and Overshown out, then you were really thin there. Yeah, and quite frankly, they haven't drafted as well at linebacker as they have. I mean, going back, a guy I really like, Jabril Cox, and he didn't pan out. Who was Devin Harper,
Do you think they didn't pan out, or more that was the Dan Quinn effect?
I mean, Cox didn't really do much in Washington when he went up there last year. I don't even know if he's on their active roster right now.
That's a good point.
Willie, and I
don't.
And part of his was injuries because he got hurt in that Cleveland game in 2020 or 2021, and he was just never the same after that. But I thought he was starting to flash in that game, and he had that knee injury and was never the same.
So who do you think is running things in Dallas?
I think Jerry still makes ultimately all the decisions. I think Steven does manage or mismanage the cap contracts, but I think at the end of the day, Jerry's still the guy that gives the final say. Now he may not be as involved as he was 20 years ago, but everything still goes through him.
And knowing the history, you've watched football enough, all three of us have, well, all four of us. Do you think that's the way it should be done? Like a committee? Because they kind of it seemed like they vote by committee.
Well, to me, no matter the way they've done things, everything funnels through Jerry, and in 27 years, we have 5 playoff wins, which is embarrassingly bad, just awful, god awful, and it doesn't really matter because the fans are going away. I'm still going to watch games. This is still my team that I love, but I don't. When I sit down and watch a game, I don't watch it with the same fervor that I did 20 years ago. And part of that's just maturity, But if they win, they win. But if they don't, life goes on,
Well, yeah, you did see the 3 Super Bowls.
I did. It was great, man. Great.
So do you believe we will ever get back to the Super Bowl with Jerry?
Not with Jerry. I don't. And I hate to say that. I'm not wishing ill on the man, but he just doesn't get it. He's never gotten it. He couldn't make things work with Jimmy. Would have been interesting. And even you go further than that. One of the things that broke apart that team of the 90s, was the salary cap. Well, whose idea was the salary cap?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. So he put that into place that helped break up the team of the 90s, all in the name of profit, by the way, which was great. The league loves it. But, it's frustrating to me because you look back on those teams and how deep they were and what Jimmy built, and they really should have won minimum 1 and at least 2 more Super Bowls. With the right coaching hire, with keeping things in place. And then you look at the Parcells years, and I thought it was pretty telling that in an interview after he left, he said, when I leave this place, after 1 year, you will not be able to tell that I was a coach here. Meaning that he put his culture there, what he could, and when he left, it went back to the Jones way of doing things.
Yeah, because he decided to get Wade Phillips, who he can run over.
God, I hated that hire. I still hate it to this day.
Yeah, he could run over.
My blood pressure.
Yeah, he could run over.
It's
It's only been 2 coaches that's had absolute power. That's Parcells and Jimmy.
Wade is a great defensive mind. He's not a great head football coach. He does not win playoff games.
He's not a strong personality to push for change.
You had a roster that was built by Parcells with a young Tony Romo. Whether or not the discussion is whether or not he could win a big game, which he won very few. He was in his prime, and it was wasted. It was wasted because Jerry had to hire a guy. For Jerry, it doesn't come down to let me use my money to go out and find the best coach. It's let me find the best guy that can work with the Jones family. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. You know? And the only time he ever changed was when the bottom line, or when he wanted a new stadium. When he wanted the new stadium, then he brought in Parcells off the 3, 5, and 11 years. And
Quote that quote you told me of what Jerry said of his experience when Bill was the head coach.
It called it the most miserable time he had as Cowboys owner.
And the reason for that, Bill was the guy who talked all football matters. If people go back, there was no Jerry Jones press conferences.
Correct.
There was no Jerry Jones on the radio show. The only
Correct.
person that talked about football was Bill. It began and ended with Bill. The assistant coaches did not talk. No one talked about game plans. No one talked about starters. And Jerry absolutely hated it. That's why I told people Sean Payton was never coming here. He was never coming here. Not whether Sean is a great coach, but wherever Sean goes, he's the guy that's going to have the final say, football matter wise. And Jerry cannot deal with that. I don't believe he can. He's did it twice. He ran Parcells away, and then he fired the guy for 2 Super Bowls back to back.
Yeah, because he couldn't. They couldn't make it work, and I don't think it was all on Jerry.
Not all.
And I love Jimmy. I'm unabashed. I love Jimmy. What Jimmy had never stayed more than 5 years at one location. Now, let's say the relationship there would have been better. What if we put egos aside? I know it's a big what if, and Jimmy is allowed to be GM and bring in his coach, and he's in charge, because those drafts after he left were awful.
Well, also though he did have people on staff, whereas at least if he's going to move, he can have a succession. He can have somebody that's like a succession. It's kind of like when Bill was here, we had a guy I think would have been a better head coach than Jason, but Jerry decided to hire Jason first. Then he brought in Wade. Yeah. Imagine if Zimmer stayed and Parcells kind of stayed to have some type. I'm not saying we would have won a Super Bowl, but I do think we would have probably been in better shape than those Garrett years.
God, and you look at that staff that Parcells assembled. How many of those guys went on to be head coaches? It was pretty amazing. Huh?
Anything else on your chest? Because if not, we're going to move on. You can still stay here with us with the mock draft. Brian is going to be the GM.
Huh.
But
I might stay on for a little bit. No, and
yeah, I'm a big Jerry.
I'm not. Only thing I got to say is, in no way was I a fan of trading Amari Cooper. I think there was other reasons why he was traded. But it does gall me that every time we lose, since then, but if we only had Amari Cooper. And I'm like, we had him and really didn't accomplish anything either. We still lost to San Francisco in the playoffs with Amari Cooper. And I'm not saying it was his fault. He would make the team better. But to act like that was the only reason, I don't. They should have got more for him. I think he pissed the Jones family off.
What do you think it was?
I think partly it was because he didn't get the jab and he missed 2 games. Those 2 key games right there, right around Thanksgiving, you got 3 games in a span of 10 days. He got sick and he missed 2 games. One game we lost to Kansas City that was close, and the one on Thanksgiving that we lost that was very close. You win one of those 2, and you're seated higher, and you might not play the Niners in the first round that year.
So do you think it was more so a kind of an impulse decision?
They've been known to get pissed off and to hold it against players and coaches. I mean, yeah, and I think too, just the whole contract thing. They have a tendency to wait too long and wait till the last second, and they talk big, and then at the end of the day, they give in, and they gave Amari $20 million, which they never wanted really to do, but there was no alternative. So I think that chapped their ass, and that was on their minds all along. And when it came time to move him, I don't think they had a problem doing that.
No, they didn't. To give him for a fifth round, even though they saved money, I don't think they saved as much. I think it was $16 million as opposed to anything. But yeah, it does seem like it's impulse decisions they've made with some of these personnel moves, as opposed to kind of like literally thinking it out. It's kind of like even the deals they do with Gallup. I believe they felt like, okay, we got him for under market value, but it's like he's damaged goods. It's like
that's exactly they
let him walk.
For that deal. I think they thought we're getting undervalued here. He's gonna come back and be the same player, and we're gonna be fine. And
It's the same thing.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Nowhere near.
Just had to move on, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Willie. I know you chomping at the bit to say something. Go ahead.
First off, Steven is running the show. And it shows every time. From how cheap he is, he doesn't believe in free agency, spending any. It could be a guy out there that will absolutely help the Dallas Cowboys in a particular area where we're bad. And they can have the money. He's not going to go get that guy. He wants. They expect that the whole Dallas Cowboys, because they look at it like this. This is how Steve look at it. Like they're not re-signing him for a reason. They're not. They're not. He's not signed to this team for a reason because blah blah blah. Why are we going to pay overpriced for him if the team don't even think he's good enough?
What kills me is the longer you wait to pay these guys, the price tag always goes up.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let me interject. I could be wrong here. I think Willie's talking. You're talking outside free agents, right?
I'm talking about outside free agents. When it comes to outside free agents, they're not going to sign a guy. He's not going to go sign a guy like, let's say, like we seen what's the D tackle that played for Cincinnati? What's his name? That's a guy that could have came in, probably helped us, right? He's not going to go after that guy. And they're not going to go after a guy that's going to fix the problem like San Francisco or Philadelphia. They're going to go out and try to fix the problem. They're going to try to fix the problem inside or either in the ground.
But I have a question. What is
San
Francisco fix?
They went out when they lost their D tackle. They went and got a D tackle in the draft, and then when the guy was not looking great, guess who they went and got?
You said
they got the guy from Philly.
But what did they pay the guy in Philly? You know the market. What was the price?
It was a good price.
They overpaid.
But
they overpaid.
Yeah,
now let me just address the San Francisco thing, like what you just said. So let's go back. Let's say, and me and you have talked about this, so I won't go too deep into it. But me and you said they should have kept Buckner. That was homegrown.
Yeah.
So if you'd have kept your own player, then you don't have to go out and get Kinlaw, who was also injured, and then you don't have to go out and fix it. Most teams who use free agency to fix problems, Willie, is because they did bad in the draft. So in defense of the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not even going to talk about I like Carr. I think he was a really good player. It is not his fault he got paid $50 million. It's not his fault. I think he played very well. But I remember when they paid. Yeah, I remember. Well, here's a big sign. They gave $10 million to Greg Hardy. He played one really good game and nothing that was there. Even with Carr, I like Carr. But the guy they drafted in the second round, who you have declared your son, is better than the guy that they actually signed outside. So I'm not denying that there are times they can get free agents. They have signed free agents. But the biggest thing is what he's trying to say is, at least I've heard Steven say this, you don't want to play great money to guys who are just good. Because if you go and look at free agency, first week, 85% of those guys get cut within 2 years.
Now
it does it all the time. So they have signed free agents. They signed Hooker at one time. He helped. Curse. I do think Curse. We need to move on from Curse. No. I'm talking about when he originally arrived. I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about when he originally arrived. He helped them fix the problem. They got him for a really good deal. But if the people I know wanted them to sign Earl Thomas, you remember that? Remember how much money people want to throw at that? You remember how
I
many?
just
No, I
think
didn't
it's funny
say
if
you. I didn't
you
say
forget
you.
about the 49ers
All Adams.
re-signed. They chose to trade Buckner and sign the other D tackle because they were being cheap.
No, I
They
never.
didn't
I
want
no
to
no
pay
no. I
Buckner
literally just
the
said no.
full.
Hold on.
He
Hold on.
was worth the
My
money. They should have signed.
my point was not that, Willie. I told you my point was they had a homegrown player that they got rid of. Then they used a draft pick on a player with lower extremities. Then they messed that up. Then they had to go outside to fix the problem. But you already had the problem
And
fixed.
that's what the Dallas Cowboys will not do. They won't go out and go get somebody. Is what I'm saying, John. They
They
won't
went
even go
out.
get
Hold
Robinson.
on. No, no,
Me
no, no,
and you were
no.
sitting there talking
No,
about
no,
Robinson.
no, no,
We were
no,
talking about Robinson on a
no,
couple of
no.
occasions. They won't
Willie,
even go
here's
out
the
and get a
thing.
Robinson or a
Hey,
Pollard. They
that
won't even talk.
happens.
Them are not big money guys. They're not
Brother,
going to go after those guys.
what big money? They've paid big money to players. What players have been justified the big money they played? Name me one player that they gave big money to. Do you think Carr was actually worth 50 million?
I think Carr would have been worth the money if they didn't actually play him off coverage instead of playing him like he probably played. He
And you
was
know
a
what?
French
And you
corner
know what?
in which they played
Hold on.
10 yards off from him,
Hold on.
done.
You
You
know
know
what?
the story about
No.
Brandon Carr. Brandon
That,
Carr was a good
that's a
cornerback
story.
and would have
That's
been
a
a great.
He was
story.
solid.
That's
He
a
was
story.
He
solid.
was
He's
a solid
solid.
corner. He was
Solid is
solid
not.
and he was worth the
Solid is
money if
not
you was playing
$50
the way
million. Solid is not
he.
$50 million.
Yeah, that's the point though. You trying to make it seem like he wasn't worth the money. He wasn't a good player. He was a good.
I've literally just said to you, you don't pay great money to good players. I have said that he's a good player, but he's not. If they paid him that right now, if he was on this team right now, y'all paid him $50 million, you guys would be straight up tripping. He gave up 235 yards to a receiver. Y'all would have wanted that dude out of here. So I understand both sides. You got to be careful when you give out that type of
To my
money. You got
235 he gave to Megatron.
thank you.
Yeah,
The
but
same
bro,
thing he
I
gave
ain't
to a
gonna
bunch of people,
hold
bro.
on, wait, hold, John.
Hold
Who's
on,
going to
Brian. I'm not saying that I expect him to
Man,
shut Megatron
hold
down.
on, say it, bro. Now
Let
you
me
want to bring up Megatron.
let me finish. I'm not saying that he should have shut down Megatron. I literally said Carr was a good player. I'm just saying when you pay great money, that's a lot of money to pay. So you would think
Yeah.
you're getting more. I'm not expecting him to do that. But I just think once again, they did an impulse decision. They could have got a guy in the draft. If anything, they could have fixed the pass rush. Therefore, he wouldn't have had time to get that. But instead, they figured, okay, here's the problem. Let's throw $50 million at a corner. And it's once again, they did in the first week, which is where you always generally overpay. A guy that was on the Dallas Cowboys, Randy Gregory, he went to Denver. They gave him $56 million in 2022. They cut him the following year in the 5th week because once again, you paying great money to a good player. It's a lot of guys. Would you guys pay $13 million to Chase Young?
I wouldn't have gone that. I might have.
I just find it funny, yeah. That every time I bring up this conversation,
Willie, if you go too off,
you talk about the high.
if you go too off kilter, I'm gonna boot you off. You had your chance. I'm trying to get everybody here to talk. I'll just boot you off. You want to get booted off? You want to get booted off? Want to get booted off?
Talk, man. Let him talk, man.
No, I'm trying to let him talk, but it's like he's not listening to any of the things I said. I never trashed Carr. I said he was a good player. I literally said he was a good player. But you're paying $50 million. That's great money. That's more money than they paid Deion Sanders. So I'm just saying, when you do impulsive decisions in the first week, rarely do anything come around. The greatest free agent I think ever was Reggie White at one time in his prime. And the Dallas Cowboys still kicked Green Bay's ass. So I'm just saying, when you do that, you got to be very careful when you give up that type of money. I remember when Sue went to Miami and people thought Miami was going to be a top 5 defense. It didn't turn out that way. You got to be careful when you throw that bread out. It's like, okay, we throwing it out. And then here's the thing too, Brian. We got 3 dudes coming up. They got to get paid their bread. So you gonna pay this bread for this dude? You got to be careful with that. That's all I'm saying.
So you think they're going to extend Dak?
I just said they got 3 guys coming up. I don't. That's another conversation. I don't know.
Well, I know.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I was pretty sure they were, and the longer it takes, I'm not positive. And it makes no sense to extend him in August. If you were going to extend him, it made a lot better sense to do it in February. That way you could hit free agency. When they hit that, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking they might just eat this contract and just let him walk. And maybe, I know everybody's freaking out.
Nah, I'm not
my
freaking
opinion,
out.
But in my opinion, this team was well equipped, or so we thought. A home game against a young team in Green Bay, and they wet the bed, man. And to me, if you're going to let some of these guys walk and bring in competition with young guys, I'm all for it, because I've seen enough. I've seen enough of these guys. You know,
I mean, the last two teams that gave San Francisco the hardest problem are both homegrown. Just all dealing with draft. Green Bay ate how much money last year? Was it 59 million? Yeah, so throwing money around is
Tampa had 80 million dead cap space last year, and they made it to the divisional round against Detroit.
They were in the worst conference in football.
No doubt.
They
pissed
away an opportunity to win the conference. They pissed away an opportunity in Week 16 and the Falcons didn't capitalize. So it was like they backed their way into the playoffs. They caught basically a bad Eagles team from top to bottom. They were quitting on their head coach, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I really think they quit on Sirianni. The whole team quit on Sirianni.
I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out this year.
And they so I mean, but to say that the Green Bay game was a bad matchup. Mike Tyson always has this. He has this saying, "Styles make fights." That was the worst opponent for the Cowboys, because Dan Quinn is 1-5 versus his 0-6 versus his former assistant coaches.
Yeah,
he's not beat one of them, and all of these guys have they know his defense back and forth because they played against his defense when he was in Atlanta. But
hold on. But wouldn't you think he'd know the offenses since he's
no, because see, here's the deal. He didn't pick the offensive coordinator. The Falcons.
No, I know that. No, but what I'm saying is, since he scrimmaged against him,
you're practicing against that offense every day.
No, because guess what he did, John? When Shanahan took the San Francisco job, he did not hire one of those guys. He went and hired Steve Sarkisian from the Alabama Crimson Tide.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when Shanahan used to be. No, when I'm saying Shanahan used to be on a ladder, he's going against him every day.
Yeah, he's going against him every day, but to me, Dan Quinn is not a scheme type coordinator. So he's not. He thinks his scheme can go against any offense. And he's not going to adjust his scheme to play against an offense that's high motion or an offense that brings in multiple sets. He's not going to adjust his defense to do that. So he just played his defense against them majority of the time. He was just glad that he was on the opposite side of that. He was on the same team. But once they left, now you got to compete against these guys. And it's like he doesn't have, which is, I think, the reason why he went and got the OC from I can't even think of the guy's name he got in Washington right now, to try and learn that system. But everybody's not Belichick. Every coach is not Belichick. Well, Belichick knows both sides of the ball. He knows what's going to hurt an offense. He knows what defense is going to hurt an offense. You know, he knows.
You would think but you would think one thing: you don't run 205-pound linebackers.
No,
I don't think you need to be a football savant for that.
Nah, you don't. And you don't run old, slow safeties against young, fast wide receivers.
True. Go ahead, Willie. Go ahead and talk. I'm not gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
What to talk about? What are we talking about? I kind of
Oh,
I
oh,
had
so
to
you lost.
clear my mind.
You had to clear your
I had to
mind.
clear my mind. I had to
Okay.
clear my mind
All right. So
because
next
I
time
was clearly
you
trying to say one thing and you took it to the high up.
I
And
ain't
I'm
taking
just
it. I ain't taking anything. We just matching the energy. You know how we do this. We usually just do it offline.
okay.
But
I was trying to say they would not go out and get somebody that will help out there, even the second, not the top dude, not the they wait and they get the bargain basket guys done. That's what I'm basically. You talk about Hooker. Hooker was an injury prone player. They would have got him what months after free agency started. It was close to during training camp when we signed Hooker.
but you
We,
like but you like the signing though. I remember
yeah,
you wanted
I
him.
like this.
They brought him in, and he was an upgrade compared to the safeties that they had. Right?
At the
That's
time,
all,
yeah,
yeah, that's
exactly.
all I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but when you've been burned by the investments of what you've done, and they realize that the players they've drafted have been better than the guys they've signed outside, that's what you end up doing. It's
It's
kind of
just like
like
a woman. You got to choose wisely, brother.
I,
I ain't know all about that. but
think
You
what
got
I'm
to
there's
choose
guys that could
wisely.
have
yeah,
come
but
in
You got to
at the
get.
right
when
price.
you don't when you do it in the first week, that is when the money is the highest. That's
You
just
can go out there and get somebody that can help at the right price. But
they
they're not even
do.
going to
They
do that.
do.
They don't even do that, Judge.
Okay,
And
but
then we get
Willie, I'm gonna ask you this. Right now, with free agency, it's probably other free agents that's out there. 15% of them have been signed. 85% are sitting out there. Why is nobody else signing them?
right now. The reason why,
Not just Dallas. I'm talking
I
all
think
these guys.
I
I don't
think
see
now
like
teams are waiting on the draft, and after the draft, then you're not you don't have to give up the compensation picks.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. Dallas not going to do it now, especially
no, it's
right,
since
not
they
just, but it's
want to
right.
not
save
just,
all their companies.
but it's not just a Dallas thing. It's everyone does it. So I
Hmm.
mean, a lot of people just accuse. I was talking to Brian about this earlier. He brought a lot of people point to Dallas saying this, but I said everyone does it. But no one ever talks about they being cheap. Everyone does it. You wait. You don't. You like I said, bad teams who draft bad will sign week one. They will do impulsive stuff. Then later on, teams will wait. They will wait until
I
later. They do it all the time. Dallas is not the only team that does this.
I
People act
always
like
remember
everybody else
this.
is just throwing money around. That isn't
I always
always the case.
I always remember
But
this saying.
you just said
Today's
yourself, Tart is gone. That's the last D tackle that we probably could have brought in right now. That probably would have been a good help to us. Who out there right now that was going to help us at D tackle? My thing has always been about D
The
tackle. The rest of
draft,
this, and you got to
the,
get
the
somebody.
draft, the
I
draft.
can
And you're
yeah,
going
find
to
you
the
be
two.
draft.
I
and
can
you
find you
and
two
you're
in the
gonna be
draft,
dependent on
Willie.
a rookie that you're gonna be dependent on a rookie to come in and make a heavy impact at that
Well,
position.
you
It
Okay,
drafted
don't
a guy
work
in the
out like
first
that
round
with
last
rookies.
year. You
it don't
drafted a
work
guy in
out
the
like
first
that
round
with free
last year,
agent
man.
signings either, Willie.
Yes, it does when you got an experienced dude that knows what he's doing.
You're
You could have
right.
That's
got a
a
Robinson.
You're right. Hold on. Poe, Griffin, Ha Ha, Clinton, Dix, Thompson. Yeah, those worked
Haskins.
out for us.
God, Don Terry Poe was awful.
Dante Poe
Yeah,
was
Signing
that
signing
terrible.
was
And
awful.
out of
old
He
here.
out
was
of his prime.
huge, man.
And you bringing up two old out of their prime guys. I'm talking about Robinson, a dude that's 27, 29, 8 years old.
What did
They could have
Robinson
got
do?
him
What did Robinson do last year, and how much money did they pay him? Can you Google that real quick?
Hey,
What was
here,
his
probably. I can't Google anything on my phone. Is
okay.
everything here. But like somebody like even you like the Pollard from the coach. He got signed with 10 million. And that's not hard. That's not a lot of money to pay for a good D tackle, bro.
He got signed for 10 mil what per year?
Yeah, I think yeah.
I don't like that.
You getting a run stopper, John. You did this. What
I
do you
can
expect
find
to?
I can find that in the draft. I'm sorry.
I
we got
We
one.
just
you
think of
when
it
you
We
different.
got one. We just need to play him. Like we don't know
Mozzie.
what
That's why
Mozzie
you drafted
is.
him, man.
This is the only thing I have, Willie. Okay, I get what you're saying. But when the draft come around, you'll be on Tyler Smith, who which you were, play him. You on Michael Parsons, play him. Diggs, my son, play him. Them the dudes from the draft. So, but then when the free agency come around, you want to get these old dudes, but then you say to me, well, ain't nobody in the draft can help. But the guys you have literally labeled your sons, your nephews, are draft. These dudes are from the draft. Wanye, he's a young player. Give me fast young. I don't want old. There's a reason these guys are not signed. Not all of them.
So you don't want nobody with experience at the place in that position, in a position which it takes 2 to 3 years to actually to dominate.
I don't always need a guy to die. I just need a guy to do his job. If your job is just to stop the run, that's all I need you to do at this time. I don't need for you.
We need somebody else. Well, we need somebody to be down there that can dominate, bro, and gonna open things up for sure for our linebackers. That's what we need, John. We've been getting gas for the last 5 years.
Willie, you have told me many times, and you have said that you said coaching matters. You say that. So I'm going to go with the guys that I have. Green Bay came into our stadium. 18 of their starters are draft picks, homegrown. They pushed it in on us. Detroit went up to San Francisco, played them hard. Their majority of their team, draft picks. It's about the draft. We need young guys. I get it, but here's the thing. People act like these dudes, they never played football before. A lot of these dudes have experience. They've been playing football since they were kids. They just ain't played it on the NFL level. So that's where the coaching comes in. And you've told me this many times. You said coaching matters. Let's get some really good head coaches. Let's put some young players out there. Let's find out what we have. I'm not a big veteran dude, except maybe with a kicker. I like young, violent players. You love Tyler Smith? You had no problems with him. You told me this. That's my son. What are you doing his first year? What was Nick Bosa playing?
He did pretty good.
Pretty good. He took one of the best 5 pass rushes and he had him play on the other side. That's kind of dominant. What did Michael Parsons do? The guy that you trotted that night that everybody said that he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. I think he had 13 sacks, right? He had 13 sacks, right? Oh,
I'm talking about D tackles, John.
I'm just giving you young players. We don't know what Mozzie is because they didn't play him. Play him.
He's got to start this year.
We know what he is. We saw what he was. He was a guy that couldn't get out.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that.
He couldn't get off the line fast. He could not. Who didn't push back? Who lost weight and it wasn't getting no run because he wasn't good enough. He couldn't get. He wasn't getting it. He wasn't getting it done. Just like if you were.
Hold on. If that's the case, you judge Tyler Smith the very first time Aaron Donald gave it to him earlier in the year. You remember when he whipped his ass repeatedly? Did you judge him off of that and just run with it and say, all right, he can't get it done? He has to play. Let him play more. Deal with the growing pains, and he will get better. Same thing with Diggs. He used to give up long touchdowns. Let him play. He can't get better on the sideline. You literally just said this on a conversation with us earlier. Why are we playing these older dudes and not playing the younger guys?
I don't think I said the same thing I was saying about last year when they re-signed Hankins. Why did you re-sign Hankins? Go get a younger guy, a Robinson, like I was talking about. That's the one I was talking about. Robinson Bailey was last year. Robinson was 28 years old. We're talking about a guy that's 33. We could have had a guy like come in.
I like Robinson, but in their terms, they may have looked at what the price of it is. It's just too big of a price. That's just all it. Where did Robinson go anyway?
And that's the only thing I was talking about, Jared. They're not going to pay the price to go out and do that. They'd rather go in the basket and go get them guys. And that's what it is. It is not fixing the problem when in the end. It doesn't fix the problem. You got Hooker, and you talk about Hooker. But big games, Hooker don't show up. And then you be saying Hooker don't show up again.
I said, okay, Willie.
Because you say Hooker ain't good enough anymore.
I want to get a young draft pick. What the? I don't want to sign a dude. I want to replace him with the draft.
Robinson ended up in Carolina.
Oh yeah, they was really good. If I remember that. That's being sarcastic. He had a lot of impact up there.
I mean, they is pretty good. They is pretty good. Because they were giving us trouble. If you remember, they were giving us trouble. We couldn't run the ball.
Hold on.
You don't remember that now?
No. That's not saying.
We weren't able to run the ball real well.
That's not saying.
Oh, okay. That's where he played. Okay. Because by that time I checked, we jumped out on them.
So we
The
have a
Blaine got that interception.
we have a top offensive line. You just said our offensive
Now
line.
we don't got time for
Hold
it.
on. You said earlier on the phone call that our offensive line is not that good. So you trying to tell me a team that stopped the offensive line that's not that good that justifies and suddenly say they dominant?
I don't think I said is they stopped. They were stopping the run. They were doing their job. The D tackle was.
We can't run.
They were doing their job. They were stopping the run. They couldn't run. We couldn't run against them.
We can't run. We can't run against anybody.
Okay.
They ain't saying anything.
Okay, that's what I was saying. I just said that we couldn't run against them. When you said what they do, I was just stating the fact they was able to stop us from running the football on them. Well, that's what I was saying, John. I mean, you want to be right. You want to be right.
No, I'm just pointing out facts, dude. You looking at this the wrong way.
You go watch that Carolina game again. We didn't start blowing them out to the end. When Blaine got that pick.
That was a lot closer than I thought that game was going to be.
Yeah, but
thank you very much.
But they also said Willie act like the 2016 offensive line running out there.
Yeah. Carolina got 2 first-round draft picks on that D line. Derek Brown,
so that's another thing.
And what they had, I mean, and the kid that just went to the Giants. I mean, Derek Brown I watched Derek Brown totally just dominate the Falcons' entire offensive line. Derek Brown is a stud.
And Derek Brown's homegrown. He's better than anybody they done brought in. Homegrown.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Exactly.
Sports Guru, how long did it take him to get to that point where he was dominating?
Who, Derek Brown?
Yeah, tell me when. Because at first year he wasn't. At first year, you know he wasn't dominating.
The first year he wasn't.
About a year and a half.
It took him a while.
About a year and a half. By a year and a half, right?
Getting reps. He kept getting reps. They didn't take him and pull him off the field and say, okay, you're not effective right now. We're not going to play you. He took his lumps. He took his NFL lumps. Now, going into this year, he's going to be one of the top the premier defensive tackles that you're going to talk about. Like, that kid coming out of Auburn, coming out of he's from Georgia. He's a Georgia product. Coming out of Gwinnett County. He went to Auburn, dominated. It's hard to play defensive tackle in the NFL. It's hard. So unless you get the reps, the less reps you get, the more and more you're gonna be behind. Exactly. You gotta get reps. You gotta take your lumps. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna get Peter rolled up out of that. There's a lot of times Mozzie got Peter rolled up out of that. But at least give him the reps. Split him in half his reps. Let him play just as much as half.
Right now, they don't have a choice. He's good.
No, you don't have a choice. You got to give him reps.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, that kid, you're not gonna find athleticism in this draft from Mozzie. You might not get that player at 24. Now, Byron Murphy's there at 24, and you run that card in, pull the trigger. You got your defensive tackle.
If Tavondre Sweat falls to day 3 because of his DUI he got last week, do you take him?
Day 3, yeah, I'll take him in day 3.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, day 3. I'm not taking him in day 2.
No, I'm not either.
I'll take him in day 3 because based upon the DUI, and I don't want to. He could be a different player, but putting him in Dallas, I don't know if he's going to work as hard as he should, because he might be about 400 right now.
The word out of Austin is that he was a little bit of a party animal too.
I've heard.
Oh no!
Yeah, I heard he ain't too. Yeah, I heard a couple things too. Not just the party. I heard that he doesn't stay on the eating thing. They try to get him on a diet.
So he's 400 right now. Basically, what you're telling me.
So wait a minute. So 366 didn't tip you that he wasn't on a diet of some kind? I mentioned this. I told you this like a month ago. I was telling you this. You was like,
I don't.
"Oh no, when he get this,
Hey,
I'm
guess
like,
what?
no, he's gonna have more money.
If
He
he
gonna eat more."
if he third and third, I want him anyway. I still want big boy. I still
I
like him.
mean, if he's a fifth round
Ain't gonna
pick,
stop me from
I'll
liking
take a
him.
flyer on him in the fifth,
I
but
take him
I'm
on the
not
fifth.
taking.
I'm not taking him
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
not
third.
taking
I'll
him
take him
nowhere
in
near. Yeah,
third.
nah.
I take him in third. I'd reach out my
Third,
hands to
no,
him
nah.
and put him on that Mozzie plan. Like I said before, I'll put him on that Mozzie plan. Because I mean if we put him on that Mozzie, gonna lose by 30 at least. I mean, I'm just saying.
Miles don't like to party though.
Exactly.
Hey, you never know,
So,
man. Coaches, get it in his head that he need
hey, you're right.
to
It
get
could,
right.
it could be, it could be, it could. You know, you
Well,
could get some
now
coaching.
coaching ain't important now. Telling the man that this what you need to do in order for us to
I'm a
it don't
quote.
work, man.
I'm a quote something. I remember John Thompson, the head coach for the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean Georgia. Georgia.
Georgetown,
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Yep.
So he's talking to the parent of a recruit, and so the parent says to him, "Are you gonna make sure that he gets to class on time?" He says to them, he was like, "If you can't get him to class, how do you expect me to get him there?" So the thing with partying and all of that, that's an internal thing because you can't watch a guy 24/7. So when he's off the football field,
No.
that's still a character thing. That's up to him to decide. I'm not going to party. I'm not risking it in the third round. I mean, you
But
can.
sometimes I will say this though. Sometimes being around more mature guys, because a college football team is not full of the most mature guys.
I
So
totally agree with you that they're 20 years old.
sometimes
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it happens all the time, but sometimes being around more mature guys, being around professional guys can show you what you need to do. Like I like what Michael did. He took Mozzie up under his wing and tried to show Mozzie, what to do. He took Mozzie to his little boxing class and stuff like that. So having players like that, having Micah around and players like that could help. But if you're a party animal, you're a party animal. Like your other nephew, DB, he couldn't get that party out of him. So I don't know, but I'd take a chance on him in the fifth round.
Oh,
Honestly,
absolutely. I'll take
I'll
him in
take a
the
chance
fifth
on him in
round.
the fifth. Yeah,
I ain't taking him in the third.
maybe a fourth if I can get a fourth, maybe. But
They
I'd
don't
definitely
have a
take a chance
fourth.
on him in the
They
fifth.
don't have a
That's what I'm
fourth
saying.
unless they trade down.
If I can get a fourth on the trade down, maybe. But third, nah, bro. I can find you a D tackle in the third. I might be able to get that guy from Florida State in the third.
We're gonna find out today.
Yeah.
At least from
So
a mock standpoint.
yeah.
Well, hey guys, I enjoyed it, man.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for
I definitely
invading.
want to
Hey,
do it
Steve,
again.
man.
We
Man,
appreciate it.
thanks, man, for coming through, bro. God, man, thanks
What's
for
your
coming
Twitter
through.
handle, Steve?
What's that?
What's your Twitter handle?
I think it's Stevo3408.
I'll send it to you, Brian, because he
Yeah, send it to me.
in the
Yeah,
X cap. So I'll send it to you.
Okay,
I
send it to me,
appreciate it.
definitely.
Appreciate it,
but
Steve.
I enjoyed it,
Appreciate you.
guys.
All right.
Always looking
Appreciate you,
forward
man,
to
coming
it
through.
once again, anytime. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Y'all have a good Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Same
Yeah.
to you.
I'm gonna try.
All right, now let's get to the draft, baby.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. Still caused commotions, had me and Willie having hands in each other, causing all of this with his questioning. So all right, let's go.
Tell me, Mike.
What
You
you say?
know me. Yeah, you know me.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna take accountability. That was my personality. That was my personality. That was me.
Oh,
So
both of us, man.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, we're about to do this. About to do this mock.
We still love cowboy football. That's in the end, though.
Oh
We
yeah,
personally fighting about
that's it.
cowboy
That's
football.
all that is, man.
It's all good. All right, so we're
It's
gonna do
always
it.
gonna be love at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. I love you. I'm gonna call you later tonight. We're gonna talk it up.
This is my brother,
It's all
and I love
football
him.
stuff. It's all football stuff. All right, so we're in the first round. I'm gonna start the draft. We're gonna do it right now, and we're gonna let Brian. Like I said, Brian is going to decide how we're gonna play this. Okay, Brian.
Ooh. I'll reject that trade. Reject that.
You gonna reject it? You gonna
Yeah.
really? Yo,
Ain't
well,
that
hold on. The only thing is you can counter. You can counter the trade.
Counter with what?
Okay, let's see. Okay, now we don't have to take this second. We can ask for something else for this.
Give me 128. Give me 128.
Take the second off. Okay, let's
take the second off.
Okay. They take it.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, I'm quite certain you're gonna reject. I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna reject that one. We're gonna reject that one.
And we're gonna reject that too.
We're gonna reject that one. Yeah.
And we're gonna reject that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we at 28.
Ooh, Johnny Newton by Murphy.
Now that's the best overall. If you decide you want to look at offense or defense, let us know. But you're gonna run it. Me and Willie are here to assist.
Give me Byron Murphy, man. Give me Byron Murphy.
Okay. All right.
Give me Byron Murphy.
Okay. All right, we're at 56 next. Okay, here's a trade offer from San Fran. Pick 63. You want to see the counter? See whatever?
Let's counter that. And let me get one. Let me see if they'll give me 135.
135. We'll take this off.
Yeah.
Oh, they
rejected it. Yeah, we're gonna reject that trade.
Okay. And yeah, that's that.
We're gonna reject. Yeah, no.
If this was real, if this was real life, that's different. It's not real.
That's not real.
That ain't real now. Let me see what's that center, man. Let me see what's that center. Oh, you already know. You already know, baby. You already know, baby. Give me second fan Fran. Give me SVPG, baby.
Yeah, I already know. Okay, 87.
102 and 118. We're gonna reject that.
You want to see what we can counter with first?
Nah, we're gonna reject that.
Oh, we're gonna reject that. Rejecting. Now, I'm assuming you're rejecting this too.
Yeah, I'm rejecting that one too.
Okay, so what we going?
What we got? What's that tackle? Oh, you already know, baby. Give me another one. Give me right down. Yes. Okay, we rock.
This is working out too good for you.
Baby.
Okay. So what we doing here? I'm gonna go back to overall just for you to see, and then tell me if you want me to go.
Let me check linebacker.
Okay, linebacker.
Let's see what we got linebacker.
I know that's Willie's boy there.
So Casey?
Yeah. He likes Casey a lot.
Let's go with Casey then. Let's go with Casey.
You want to look at you don't want to look at
Go to running back real quick. Ooh, let me get Jalen Wright, bro. Let me get Jalen Wright. Yeah, let me get Jalen Wright. Now we're gonna go back to linebacker. See what's up.
Oh, wait a
minute. What's in this? Oh yeah, let me run that. Let me run that. Yeah, let me run that.
That's another trade.
Reject that.
Okay. All right, so we're going linebacker.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about Exenberg.
Exenberg's he's a big backer. We looked at him last night.
What about Omar Speights? What he looking like?
We both like him. Me and Willie liked him. But I think Willie selected him. He a little small. Yeah, but he's also listed. But he's also been listed at 6'1", 237.
Let me see Exenberg attributes.
He's 6'2", 233.
That boy from Notre Dame big too, though. Pretty big back.
You talking about 6'1"?
Let me get Exenberg.
Yeah,
let me check.
He actually pretty small, Willie. Exenberg? Okay.
Let me get Exenberg.
Yeah, I looked at the guy from Notre Dame. He's built like a safety, like an undersized one.
Built like a safety.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna be bigger too until I got it.
Okay, so what we got? Okay, we got 4 more picks left. Okay, we got Murphy, we got Van Pran, we got Kyre K.A. We got Jalen Wright. We got Etchenberg. Let me see what's that DT again.
DT. I like that kid from James Madison. I like the kid from Michigan State a lot, but
what about Edge? What we had Edge?
Edge rushing. You got the
Oh
kid.
yeah,
You gonna take him?
Nah, man, not right now.
Okay.
Let me go back to linebacker.
Okay.
What's up with Musso?
He get them later.
You like?
Let me go to cornerback.
Okay.
What? What we got? Let me go to wide receiver, man. Let's see what we got in wide receiver. This. God dang, man, we ain't got nothing right now.
I really know about some of these guys. Willie, you want to help?
Let me see Cephas, man. Let me see Cephas.
Cephas, what is it? Let's go with Cephas then.
Oh, he just said
Let you want to run the tape on him?
Nah, he
I don't need no tape. I'm taking your word for it. I'm trusting your word for it.
Bro, Meme is good too. You might get him.
Let's go back to Ed. Let's go to Ed. Let's see what we got on the Ed. Oh, you already know. What we at 233? Let's go Sunday out of Amsterdam.
Got you.
Let's go Sunday out of Amsterdam.
Okay.
235. Linebacker.
Not for me. I like Nathaniel Watson.
Let's go with Nathan. Let's go with Nate. Let's check old Nate out. Oh yeah, let's check old Nate out.
Okay. And we got one last pick.
Let's see safety. Let's see cornerback. Let's see what we got at corner. One Shepard, Andrew, Davis. Let's go to Shepard. We'll take Shepard. He the highest rated one out the board. You're right. That's it right there, baby.
That's damn, Willie. He was fast. I know.
He was warp speed.
I don't wait no time, man. I already know what I want, man. We got DT.
So explain to the people why you chose who you chose.
But see, my philosophy was to build inside out. So the first 3 rounds, I'm looking in the trenches. I'm looking either O tackle, OC, or DT. Aaron Murphy to me was the best player on the board at 28. Cedric Van Pran is a pet cat. The kid out of Yale, I just gotta hope to him. He's an athletic freak, and I think he could come in and possibly compete with Kareem Richards at the OT position. So you got 2 young guys. You got one athletic. You got one with a little experience already in the pros. So you can kind of keep Tyler Smith at left guard. Jalen Wright is a running back that I've been hearing about and I've seen in the SEC conducting. Don't have a lot of carries. I think he can come in and help with the running back room. May need to get another free agent running back. They may end up bringing back 15. I ain't gonna call him 21. I'm gonna say 15. Etchenberg, I just went on traits. Cephas, one of my scouts. He said that he's a good guy. Sunday out of Anderson is another pet cat. I had the luxury of watching him play for 2 straight years at Grambling, so I know his traits. And he's 6'5", 250. Man, you can't. That ain't no college fluff. That ain't none. That's 6'5", 250. I know it personally. Nathan Washington is a guy. Watson, I gotta check out a little bit. And then Shepard was a scout told me about him. But other than that, man, it was about trenches with me with what I'm looking at.
I got
And
you.
we fixed the trenches the first 3 rounds of the draft.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know,
And
and
your entire left side is fine.
so
I love
yeah,
Shaky from Georgia. I think he's, in my opinion, I think he's the best center.
so we straight. We got help. We got help at DT with Miles and Murphy can play a little bit of defensive end. That's what kind of what I've been kind of liking because I actually seen some tape of him versus Kingsley. I'm gonna mess that Kingsley S. Mess the last name up, and I don't want to do that. But I seen a little bit of him playing out defensive end, and he gave Kingsley some problems when Kingsley was at left tackle. So, and I think with I think Sandiata got a chance to make the team because he can come in and play, the Dorrance Armstrong role. He can play the Fowler role. So I think with this draft right here, and if we can get this draft right here or something similar to what we got right here, man, we'll be all right. Because of the players that we got that's on the roster that did not play. Like Fioka, we don't know nothing about Fioka.
No, we don't. Which is
We don't know nothing about it. So it's players. What's the linebacker? I mean, he wore 91. Dang, I can't think of the name. You talk about him all the time.
Tyrese Wheat.
Tyrese Wheat. We don't know nothing about him.
Yeah, I thought he could have helped us last year.
Yeah, it's players on this roster, man, that did not get a chance to play that were drafted or picked up last year in free agency that we know nothing about. And they might be players.
Exactly.
But they just got to get playing time.
Yeah, it would have been nice to find out what they were last year.
Yeah.
Because we already know what Fowler and Armstrong were.
Man.
And it'd been nice to even to find out what they is. Thoughts, Willie, about Brian's draft here?
No, it was a pretty good draft. War speed. I mean, God speed.
He was, man. Yeah,
he did what he wanted. He seen what he really had no debate about it. He came to this one and he needed, and he reacted quickly. I think it's a good draft.
What about players? The players here. I mean, I know you big on Josh. You talked about him last night. Tommy, I like from Ohio State. That's good value at 179.
Good value.
We talked about Jalen, right? I agree. The kid from Grambling State, Anderson, he is a. If we come away with him at 233, I would love that.
Yeah. My wife got mad with. My wife got mad with me because I ain't taking him at 216.
Oh, really? Did she go to Grambling?
Our son went to Grambling, man.
Oh, right. You did. Yeah. You told me that because he played with him.
Yeah, they play opposite. They play opposite each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You ain't see the clip I put in?
I remember the clip. It just kind of.
Sunday Out made the sack, and my son was the one who scooped it up. And
you know what? I'm sorry. Your wife, she commented. She said, "I can't believe you didn't take so." My bad. I didn't even. She in the comment section. Yeah, I see.
So, but I mean that kid. The only knock I can say on him is sometimes he had a tendency sometimes to not play hard, and it might have been conditioning or whatnot. But he's a small school guy with Division I size.
Yeah, he is nice. When I looked at him 3 months ago, and then when I was seeing what he's projected, I was saying somebody can get a really good player. And maybe drafting him low would be a good, maybe a reality check for him. I mean, I think Zimmerman would be a really good guy for him. So yeah, that's funny with your wife. She said, "I can't believe you didn't take him," but we got him at 233.
I was gonna get him right there. Couldn't take him too high.
Yeah, the receiver's a good choice. I watched him now. It's a good route runner.
I like
Shepard a little bit more than Willie. I like his traits, like his size. But I agree with Willie. He has a tendency of tackling high up top, but I do like his size.
Okay.
Yeah, I like his size. I think
Yeah.
he's 6'6" too.
Maryland has had a tendency though to put out some decent DBs. Like
Mhm.
had Bell not gotten in a little trouble at Maryland, Bell would have stayed at Maryland. But he got into a little trouble, and I think he had to either go to JUCO or either he transferred straight to FAMU. One of the two. I think he may have had a JUCO route and then went to FAMU, but he got in a little trouble as a freshman. But he was in that secondary that came out last year. So a lot of those guys from Maryland that came out last year, Bell would have been one of those guys
Mm.
in that secondary. So it is. And see, I think this draft, man, like every year is players that you add on that's gonna be sixth, seventh round, free agents. That's gonna come in and take a veteran job. Really, honestly, to be honest with you, like Bell took a veteran job last year. They didn't want to. I don't think Dan Quinn wanted to give up on Curse, so he put him at linebacker. But Bell could have been doing what Curse was doing last year.
Or you could have put Bell, at Wilson's job, and Willie's nephew, Israel, should have took Curse's job.
Israel or Wanye.
Well, I wanted to take Wanye and put him at Hooker's job. I wanted to get rid of the whole safety. Yeah, I wanted to get the whole.
Hey man,
safety.
who knows?
Yeah, they had a bunch of young players who I think could have played better than all the safeties that we are currently at.
Another
Paid up for it would have been a long night.
I can't see it.
Oh wow, she's funny.
What was the comments you made? Because I can't see it. Yeah.
You can't see the comments?
No, I can't see the comments off of Twitter. Because I sent her the link. I sent her the link off of Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I mean off of YouTube. Like I can't see the comments on.
Well, she said she can't believe you didn't take him, and I said LOL. She said he made up for it. Would have been a long night.
Oh yeah. See, I would have never heard the end of that. Even though this is not a real draft, I would have never heard the end of that. Yeah, I've never heard the end of that.
He could be a really good player for him.
Yeah. They got a linebacker, man. He's small though, but he'll probably be like a free agent draft pick, if not. Like he's about 5'8", 5'9". Like he is
8.
Yeah, he is a tackling machine though, but he's just small. I mean, that's what you get at the 1AA level.
But what's his weight? What's the weight?
About 215, 220.
Oh, so
he's small. Yeah, he real small. Yeah, they don't. You rarely ever get big linebackers at that level. Like if you do get them at that level, it's because they didn't have the grades to go D1.
True.
Or they came from a junior college.
You never know. Sometimes guys like that can carve themselves out and have a career on space.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Sam Mills type, but not the biggest Sam Mills. But I mean, he has a nose for the ball. But I don't know. You know, I haven't seen his name on any draft, but you know, free agency is totally different.
Yeah, you gonna have to text me his name. If I can look at his tape. All right, fellas, I appreciate it. Any closing thoughts? This one will be a little longer with Steve coming in and you know what's going on. But this was a great draft. Yeah, you was not playing. Any closing thoughts, Willie?
Hey, he beat me out by 30 minutes. we didn't have nobody over here with us. I know to be faster next time.
I'm telling you, man. See, you have to practice, Willie. See, I actually did a mock before we actually got on. So you got to practice, man. I
should just went with what I know and just go what I know, what I felt like I wanted, instead of just. Like I said, next time I know what to do. I know what to do next time. I got it now.
Yeah, just be decisive, man. Know what you want.
Be
Know
precise.
what you want.
No, what do you mean you didn't know what you didn't know who you wanted, Willie? I thought you did.
Now, I do what I wanted. Now, when I came in there, I know what I wanted, but I was trying to be, you know. Well, I talk about it later. I talk about it
You were
when we get
trying. You were trying to be perfect. You ain't gonna be perfect.
out.
You
Yeah,
got to pick. You got to see. You got to see that name. And if the highest rated player on the board is what you need, you got to take him. Then like after four, like once you get into 170, then like you want to kind of start maybe picking and choosing. But them first four picks, you got to look for them jokers to play, man. Like you
Mm-hmm.
got to have them. They got to play.
Yeah.
They got to play. And like this failed for me. It failed perfect though. Like because it didn't totally wipe out the tackles. It didn't wipe out the centers at all. Like I gotta say the Van Pran at 56. I mean that was to me that's a steal.
exactly.
So and I mean you ain't gonna. I mean, hey man,
Nah,
we'll find out in 2 weeks, man.
yeah, this was a great draft. You stayed with your
Yeah,
board, and then you
yeah.
took even with the last pick. He wanted a corner, so he took the highest rated one, who was projected to be higher than 244. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I check out this kid, Quantez Stickers.
Quantez, who?
Stickers.
Yeah,
Stickers.
I've seen him.
Huh?
I've seen him.
Okay.
Where was this?
Look, safety.
Uh,
Yeah, safety.
oh, we good at safety, man. I don't think we need to even look at the safety. I think we deep at safety.
You
You don't
sure?
think?
They
You
they
think?
they complain about safety all the time to me. I'm pretty sure they
No, no, no,
probably
no,
want
no,
to get
no, no.
some.
You complain about a safety. You complain about a safety. Not all safeties.
I
A
was saying.
safety. We talk about
So
a.
we played about one safety on one side and the other one that plays in the box. So I would say more than one safety. We were talking about Curse too now. I'm
No,
just saying.
those
Kurt's off the
trades.
roster now, but we got somebody that can take his spot.
Okay.
I don't have
I
a
think,
problem with Donovan. I
yeah,
just
those are
do think
traded
the
picks.
other guys are better. But you know what? We're about to leave off people. You guys have anything closing, Brian? Anything closing?
Nah, man, I'm good, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Appreciate
good.
it. This was fun. Willie?
I'm great, man. Come back and see us again. That's
All right. Thank you, people.
all I got.
All right.
Willie, man, I need to put in an order on that shirt, man. Let me know how I can get an
Oh,
order,
for
man.
sure. Yeah, we need to do it.
That's all I know.
We'll talk
All
to you
right,
later.
man.
We can put posters out.
I definitely would tell them.
All right,
Gotta
bet.
give me